Didn't get enough stops, honestly. I kept going back to a same play, and there's too many times where we messed up. Sometimes we got it right, sometimes we didn't. And I think they were able to convert on that, and they had confidence, and they started making the plays down the stretch, and we just weren't able to get the stops we needed.
When you look at that fourth quarter, I know stops were an issue, but also just not being able to hit shots. And so do you like the looks that you guys were generating?
Yeah, I think we didn't take really tough shots. I think we got a lot of catch and shoot shots that we normally hit. I think that we kind of we let our defense kind of make those missed shots. I think we was kind of looking at that. We got to just move on to the next play. I mean, the NBA players are going to make shots, so we just got to just move on.
Spo kind of talked about not setting the tone defensively tonight. So when you guys are out there and you can feel that happening, what needs to happen to get it back in your favor?
Just got to find a way to get 3 stops in a row, and not just one. I think sometimes we got a couple good stops, but we just didn't get the rebound. I think that a lot of times we get relaxed when somebody shoots and one person runs in and tip the ball, and we bobble and they get a rebound, they get a 3. And that's just like a deflating play, especially because how good we are in transition, how good we run. Like, we kind of need those possessions because, that's playing into our game. So, we got to keep getting those stops. Try to get 3 stops in a row.
When you look at the box score, like 51 rebounds, 32 assists, you guys did a lot of really good things. And so when you go to Philly, is there a simplicity and you just have to defend the ball better?
Yeah. Because they get in the paint just as well. They got really good players off the dribble. Obviously, Tyrese Maxey's playing the superstar level right now, so you got to find ways to swarm him, put 2 people on him. He can't get any easy looks because I can get him going.
Since you brought up the paint last one, you guys actually had 2 more paint touches tonight, but they scored 22 more points off of their paint touches. And so was it their defense that kind of slowed you down in that area, or what was that?
Yeah, I think that they do a good job of protecting the paint, especially with the nail guy. He's always in the nail. I think we a couple times we could go off the ball quicker and got more threes up. But I think we take 2 dribbles and they tip it and we end up turning the ball over. I think I've done that a couple of times, and I think Norm did it too. So we just got to know that. Definitely in the scouting report, we knew it was a heavy nail team, so we just got to keep making the simple plays.
All right, thank you. Ready? Yep. Okay, so Norm was the fourth quarter, kind of got away with that out there.
Didn't get enough stops, honestly. I kept going back to a same play. And there's too many times where we messed up. Sometimes we got it right, sometimes we didn't. And I think they were able to convert on that, and they had confidence. And they started making the plays down the stretch, and we just weren't able to get the stops we needed.
When they start making those big plays, do you guys, is the response a bucket on the other end? Is it a stop? What do you need in those moments?
Both. We got to hold the fort. Got to get it out quick, get up there and score. I thought we did a good job offensively down the stretch, getting to the free throw line, getting buckets. But I thought they were better offensively, and we just didn't get the stops defensive. I thought they were making the right plays, and I think we just needed a little bit more physicality, a little more communication within those actions to be able to jump on them and have them, certain players, be the ones taking the shots and beating us rather than those 3.
You did get to the free throw line 14 times, and it seems like it's getting tough to get to the free throw line on the gather. And so what were you able to do tonight to force your way there?
Getting the contact. I thought maybe 2 more times I should have been able to get to the line, but, you leave it up to the ref to make a judgment call. But just seeking the contact on my closeouts, getting them off balance, and seeking the contact. I was able to get to the line. Just mad that I missed 3 free throws again.
All right, thanks, Norm. Okay, thanks. Fourth quarter, what did you see?
It was a tale of many things, but I believe at the beginning of the fourth, we're up 8, and they just, hit 2 threes within seconds, to get back into it. We couldn't, extend that lead, and then Porter Jr. just played terrific down the stretch. We couldn't, get a handle on him. And defensively, it just wasn't a great game. It would have required a whole lot more. It started in the first quarter. We didn't set the tone for the game with a 30-plus point quarter allowed, and they started getting in rhythm, and then even as we took a 3-point lead, there late in the fourth, we couldn't get enough stops, to extend that lead, and so it just became make or miss, for us offensively.
Did you like the shots that you were getting late?
I don't have a problem with the shots. Yeah, I mean, your defense has to travel. We scored 117 tonight. I didn't think it was going to be once the game got going, I didn't think it was going to be a 140-point game. But I think that would have taken a lot of pressure off of us, to get 3 or 4 stops in a row, which is what we've been doing. Not necessarily in the close games, but, in the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, we've been able to get those stops recently, and that's propelled us, to wins.
When they start hitting threes because they're such a good three-point shooting team, their crowd starts going, what is the response? Is it a bucket? Is it a stop? Like, what do you need in those moments?
Look, everybody's going to shoot, threes. They're a very good 3-point shooting team. The thing in the first half, we gave up 8 threes, and they were kind of dare shots. We know that they were capable of getting hot, and we just weren't making those extra efforts to make them put the ball on the floor and have to get to something else, and they just started to gain confidence. And took that 5-point lead, and we had a better third quarter. Like I said, we took the 8-point lead, but we just couldn't get enough stops, in that fourth quarter.
I know there's no moral victories. You guys have 51 rebounds and 32 assists on that side of the ball. Are you okay with where things are?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We needed to. It really just became make or miss. I don't even think I had a problem with I'll have to look. There's some shots we missed. Bam missed a layup. Wiggs missed a couple free throws. We missed a couple open threes. That's going to happen. We pride ourselves. We have a 3-point lead that we'll be able to get enough stops that, regardless if we miss, some shots or things don't necessarily go our way in the fourth, that we find that gets you enough, for a win.
You're pretty close to just 1 or 2 points from being in the playoff, guaranteeing in the playoffs, but there's still a good number of games. Does it put pressure for you for the rest of the season, or do you still just look at game to game?
No, I hope so. That pressure is a privilege, and I want our locker room to feel that pressure. We need to push our game to a higher level.
How about Nikola Jovic? Any news on him, and what do you think about his situation for the rest of the season in terms?
I don't have an update on him, but we're encouraged that we'll be able to get him back and healthy soon.